I was a high school teacher, and I very quickly learned that I could not write on the board in cursive because the majority of the students couldn't read the cursive handwriting. So it's absolutely true, at least in terms of education, less time is given to instruction of handwriting because in daily life, people spend a lot of their time texting or typing on the keyboard more often than they're writing by pencil or pen.
So we want to understand whether learning letters through handwriting as compared to learning them in other ways, like through typing or visually studying them, whether it matters. This experiment involved 3 groups of individuals taught to recognize Arabic letters, each using a different learning approach. None of the participants knew any Arabic, so these were different letter forms than what they were familiar with. One group learned through writing practice, another group learned through a visual practice, and the third group learned through a typing practice.
And so the first result we found is that those who had the handwriting training did learn more quickly. It took them less time just to learn to recognize the letters.
We then actually trained all 3 groups so that they could recognize letters equally well. Then we tested them on tasks that they had not been trained on. They had to write letters, they had to name letters, they had to read words, and they had to write words.
And what we found is that across the board on every single measure we looked at, the people who had the writing training did the best. They were better at writing them to dictation, at spelling words, even at reading they tended to be better.
I think the bottom line for this study is that we have fairly strong evidence that handwriting supports literacy in ways that go beyond the actual penmanship. That's the reason to not put away those pens and papers yet.
So I have 3 nieces and a nephew, and my gifts, my Christmas birthday gifts have been pens and pencils and with finger paints or whatever to get them involved with the letters, even in a kind of creative, artistic way. It's a good thing.